welcome to everyone to this very special gathering. The name of this summit is the Grossen South Asia Investment Summit. The name of this session is Grossen Introduction. My name is Hetal Pandya, and on behalf of the Grossen team, I would like to introduce you all to this great summit, where some of our country's influential minds coming together, talking over the next 2 days, trying to find ideas, opportunities, and solutions to fuel our startup ecosystem. We are deeply grateful to our special guest, Mr. Sandeep Barve, Managing Director and Chief Operating Officer of InUnison. InUnison helps make businesses unique, modern, and relevant. Mr. Sandeep Barve is an industry expert of having decades of experience and professional expertise, who is an innovation strategic business innovation consultant and an influential thought leaders of 2021. Thank you again, Mr. Sandeep Barve, for joining us here today. Now, about this event. This event is mainly focused on how your company can accelerate its path to success. It is a platform for those who are looking to raise funds, find partners, mentors, or expand your founding team, grow your organization, deal with challenges brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, optimize the existing technologies, get new insights on new trends. We are also going to talk about investment opportunities, exploring new sectors, and learn more from seasoned investors, founders, thought leaders, and innovators. We are fortunate to have with us more than 200 investors, including private equity, venture capital, angel investors, and other industry experts, among with us with great years of industry experience. We also have more than 1,200 startups with us with their young, genetic, and futuristic entrepreneurs who are building future, and some of them will walk us through their company presentation during this summit. Now, let me talk about the Grossent. Grossent is the fastest growing fundraising platform. Its headquarters is in Pune, India. It is a product of Citylink technology. Our main objective is to provide support for entrepreneurs and growing businesses. Grossent connects you to the ecosystem of businesses and investment professionals. Through the networking feature of our platform, the investors can connect to entrepreneurs that are passionate about building innovative ideas and solutions. Our platform is a safe and secure place for your requirements. We evaluate registered company and investors with different parameters before making them live on our platform. Now let me talk about the parent company, Citylink Technology. The Citylink Technology was founded in Pune in 2015 by a group of like-minded entrepreneurs who wanted to build world-class technology products for individuals and enterprises. Its core ideology is to become the world's most trusted platform to empower businesses. The product of Citylink umbrella, we have various technologies such as Grossent. It is a global fundraising platform for startups and investors. Grossent Fund. It is a dedicated for institutional investors to connect to high-performing investment managers. Markzil. It is a marketing platform for all businesses, a final solution to personalized cloud email services. And Techotax. It provides tax-related solutions, which make the tax-paying process very simple. Now, let me walk us through the benefits of registration on the platform. As the sole purpose of Grossent is to promote the startup culture and build a strong ecosystem for innovation and entrepreneurship at global level. Through this initiative, the Grossent plans to empower startup ventures to boost entrepreneurship and economic growth. The digital nature of this platform creates a simple and open way of financing, user-friendly and a live platform that allows you as an investor to reach out to some of the founders and the company details in just a few clicks. Quick and safe interaction within the community of startups, founders, and investors. For startups, this is a great platform to get noticed, to get the chance to present themselves to investors and interact with investors, get their insights, and take your companies to new heights. Before we begin, I would like to thank our esteemed sponsors for making this summit happen. Our sponsors are CityLink Technology Solutions Private Limited, IndiNaturals India Private Limited, Rivisoft Solutions India Private Limited, Silicon Wireless System Private Limited, and our media partner is Outlook Business. Thank you very much for that support. Now, I would like to thank our panelists for the event being here and to give us some insights and share your experience on the topic related to the event. Now, as we commenced the summit, much of our communication is virtual, and to go to the next session, please click on the back button, and on the event tab, click on the next session. Now, may I first and foremost invite our Chief Operating Officer and the Member of Board of Directors, Mr. Shahu Pawar, to come in and speak about the event and the platform. Shahu, the stage is yours. Welcome, and we would love to hear about your thoughts. Thank you very much, everyone, for hearing me. I hope you have a great event ahead.
Shahu, you are mute. You are on mute, Shahu.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Sandeep. Hello, everyone. I welcome you all to the Groscent South Asia Summit Investment 2021. I am Shahu Pawar, Chief Operating Officer and co-founder of CityLink Technology Solutions. I am super excited about all the amazing conversation that we're going to have today. Before beginning, let me tell something about Groscent. As Hetal already mentioned, Groscent is a product of CityLink Technology Solutions Private Limited. And CityLink Technology Solutions is a product-based company and involved in building a world-class product for individuals and enterprises. Our vision is to become the world's most trusted platform to empower the businesses. Our mission is to build the organization through funding, make them compliant and rapidly expand by acquiring customers. To align with our mission, we have developed 3 products. Our first product is TacoTax. TacoTax is a taxation and compliance platform for individuals and businesses. TacoTax is a one-stop solution for all compliances. Our second product is Markzeal. Markzeal is a marketing platform for all businesses. It is a comprehensive and simplified solution to send an email to keep in touch with your customers and convert them to as your loyal customer. And our flagship product, as we are online on that product, it's a Groscent. Groscent is an online fundraising platform for the businesses who are seeking funds and the investors who are looking for a good opportunity to invest. Businesses can register themselves on Groscent with the very basic information and pitch deck. Our team evaluate these businesses and make them live for the investors. An investor can evaluate them and start investing as per their interest. So this is about the Groscent. Now I would like to introduce our chief guest. Joining us today is a great personality and amazing visionary. And when I say amazing, I mean it. Our guest is having more than 3 decades of corporate experience. He worked across many multinational companies, predominantly in BFSI sector, like Citigroup, HSBC, and Barclays. He's headed various leadership positions. So please welcome Mr. Sandeep Barve. Yeah, Sandeep, you can start. Thank you for that.
Thanks.
Thank you.
First and foremost, congratulations to CityLink Technologies and Groscent for having this event. And thanks very much for inviting me. Thanks to Shahu and Ganesh and the entire Groscent team. I welcome all the participants across the spectrum of the entire startup ecosystem. That's the investors and companies seeking investment, as well as the panelists who are going to speak across these 2 days, talking about their expertise, talking about their areas, and helping grow this ecosystem. I have a presentation, Hetal, I'm going to share if you can enable me to. Hello?
Yes, I did.
Oh, still not able to.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you. Can you confirm you are able to see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Sure. So once again, welcome everyone for this future creation event. Any investment summit, anything related to startup world, I do see that as a future creation event because we are all here to create the future which doesn't exist today. We are here to solve unique problems in our own unique ways. And that is where these kind of summits end up into having conversations around collaborative co-creation. So welcome to the summit, welcome to the future creation. Basically, we are talking about South Asia and around 6 countries and participants from these 6 countries, as well as the entire ecosystem. Today, I'm going to touch upon 3 areas. It's bit about today, tomorrow, and day after. And as I said, this is future creation event. So obviously today, tomorrow, and day after makes sense in that context as well. Today, it is about investment. So from an investor perspective, what is the investor and the VCs and angels and funds would be looking for? It's an investment horizon that we are going to cover and we are going to talk about. I would say that today is the most opportune time, and never the moment like before has been there in terms of the startup system. And startup ecosystem is completely developing across this continent, across India and other neighboring countries. And this is becoming like a right investment destination. The ingredients of becoming a right destination is the first and foremost is talent. If we look at the talent in India and around, you would see that it's a demographic advantage, what we call it. The median age is around 26, 27. That is the median age of the startup community. It's a vibrant economy. It's a vibrant field. And entrepreneurs who are willing to take the risk, willing to have certain ideas, position in the market, they are the part of the system. The talent is available, the talent across the spectrum. So it's not just technology talent, but also talent having ideas across various domains, across various industries and sectors. So the next part is the ecosystem is developed today. So it is not just about the talent. Without ecosystem, a startup cannot survive, cannot thrive. So to that extent, if we look at right from the incubation centers, the education facilities, the funding ecosystem, the partnering ecosystem, accelerators, mentors, the entire value chain, if we will talk about the startup ecosystem, that is available today. And not only available, that is growing in numbers. And last ingredient, having talent and ecosystem, the availability of market. We are talking about 1.3 plus billion market around this continent or around this part of the world. And that makes it a completely attractive destination in terms of a perfect ground for a startup to thrive and scale. As far as growing unicorns are concerned, that is the test of the mature market. Today, as of date, we have 62 unicorns only in India. And within the South Asia, we have 70 plus unicorns. And if you look at the journey, we all know about the journey of startup ecosystem post Y2K and then post the digital era and industry 4 and all the systems. But a decade back, it was more about e-commerce. And you would have seen majority of the startup companies talking about mimicking, imitating, or replicating what Amazon did or Flipkart-like models. But today the story is completely different. It is right from space to soil. Every field, every sector, every industry, you will find that there are startups coming up. And that is the strength of this market. We have startups coming up into launching rockets as well as launching satellites. And then we have multiple other sectors. The fintech is getting up to the pivot level and maturing now, while the healthcare sector, edutech sector, and all other sectors, media and entertainment and so on and so forth, are pivoting today. So it is a wide spread out market, and the unicorn itself tells the story in terms of basically the entire value chain of a startup system. So we have the startups or the talent coming up. We have the family and friends supporting them in the early stages, and then the complete startup VC journey. We have multiple rounds of options available for startup community today. And it is not just about VC or angel. What startups finally or the ecosystem looks for, both the investors as well as the startup, are two things. One is the valuation. The valuation allows next level of investors to kick in. The company able to raise higher funds for its growth and scalability. And obviously, investors are also looking at higher valuation as well as exit opportunities. Now, if you look at the story, you will realize that three-way opportunities to exit are there for investors. One is through the next series of funds. They can dilute their stake, they can reap the benefits of higher valuation, and they can exit even. The second story we have seen in terms of even the bigger players, like just recent examples, if you will, in India, we have seen Tata becoming, coming into a big way in terms of Tata Digital, acquiring 1mg or even Big Basket. And there is the other story as well, a startup acquiring a big established player like a Thyrocare. And the third leg being the markets. About a decade back, I'm sure nobody would have imagined a loss-making company listing on a board and the issue getting n times oversubscribed. But today it is happening with companies like Zomato and so on and so forth. There are many companies. So you'll realize that India and the neighboring countries is becoming kind of a promised land for the startups. And that's the beauty of this market. That's the attractive proposition for the investors. That's about today. And that is what we are celebrating. We are here today to be part of this journey. That's about today, the investment horizon. When we are talking about tomorrow, it's all about the next level of startup journey, which is scalability, which is what every startup is looking for. Investment and funding is one leg of the success. But the other leg of success is really achieving the desired scalability, ability to translate your idea and innovation into something which allows you to scale in the market and garner the support of masses for whom you are trying to solve the problem. So one of the things that the startups need to focus on and understand is just having a powerful idea is not enough. Many a time startup think that I have the biggest idea, I have the best idea in the world, and many a times they ignore the other facets of the business, that it's hundreds of millions of powerful ideas are getting floated and even getting destroyed. It's a risky terrain, but at the same time, it's an attractive terrain if you kind of mix the right ingredients and put forth the right steps in right direction. So power of idea in terms of innovation has to have three basic tenets and basic elements. The first one is the idea mature? Mature in terms of multiple aspects. One, whether the idea is getting entered at right time, where the market is ripe to pick up that idea. Many a times we have seen certain ideas are ahead of time. In a recent example, an US company, Katera, which was ahead of time in terms of launching prefabricated homes, and they went bankrupt. So the market or the readiness of buyers is not there. The other part may be The buyer's interest is there, but the startup will have to educate the buyer, and then what happens is large investment and large time gets into educating and building up the buying interest and getting up to the curve. So we'll have to validate in terms of what is the maturity of the idea, the timing that I am introducing in the market. Is that really an attractive value proposition? The next part is marketability. How far, to what extent my solution or my innovation is marketable? And marketability has to be about not selling or not marketing the product and its features or the services and its features, but it is about creating the buying interest. Is the buyer interested in buying my value proposition at the price, at the way that I'm selling, at the differentiation, at the innovation that I'm offering? Is it unique? Is it a novel idea? Is it a different way of solving the problem? That is going to create the glue, that is going to create the magnet, that is going to create the attraction. Because just having a good idea is not enough, I said. It need to create buzz in the market. The last one is it monetizable? Because at the end of the day, it has to generate sufficient revenue, it has to generate the traction, it has to generate at some point in time not just cash burn, but also start generating enough operating margins and then subsequently profits. That is where the idea validation need to happen in terms of these 3 M's, which is important. The next part is scalability. And for scalability, you require talent, not just couple of people coming together and having a great idea and technology being available today to create wonders, but business is all about the entire business model. It is equally about the customer segments, about the markets, about the value proposition, about the partners and ecosystem. And we require talent across all different dimensions, across technology, across sales, across marketing, across the servicing part, creating the superior customer experience, so on and so forth. What is the availability of talent as we progress the journey from maybe developing an idea to coming to an MVP stage, from an MVP stage to the next level of scalability, and next level of infusing the next level of incremental innovations? About technology, what different technologies are becoming part of our overall value proposition? It is in terms of both, in terms of the technology that is creating the product or creating the service, and then it is making available in a seamless fashion. So basically the entire customer journey, what are different technologies we are using, what data elements are we gaining insights from customer, from market, and how we are benefiting from different technologies and convergence of different technologies. So technology is the vehicle that today startups are riding in terms of scalability, in terms of reach, in terms of creating volumes, servicing volumes. And not only that, today's world is all about connectivity. So kind of creating hyper connectivity, on-demand availability of product and services, and even creating unique personalized customer experience. So technology is the backbone and the foundation of today's ecosystem and today's enterprise. And finally, the scalability is also one of the factors, tie-up. Gone are the days where the entire enterprise does everything themselves. Today's world is about kind of platforms and connecting various plugins and leveraging, because you leverage an existing startup and partner with them in terms of achieving synergy, achieving scalability. Both the startups or both the ecosystem partners benefit from each other. And that is where all the 3 things are going to help you in terms of scalability. As I said, just having an idea is not enough. It is just a beginning. Let us understand the idea to success journey quickly. A 360-degree validated idea ensures that it's mature to disrupt the market. It is, again, the value in the idea is about its ability to disrupt the market, how far it is unique, how far it is different, how far it is going to solve the problem in a different way. Idea need to be validated at 360 degree. It becomes a mature idea. A mature idea plus strong differentiator, the unique value proposition that creates marketability. The next is mature idea with a strong differentiator with a unique business models is definite recipe for monetizability. At a level, it is going to definitely create the value that you anticipate to generate out of selling the products or services. The next one is mature idea with a strong differentiator, unique business model, and technology is going to create competitive advantage. Understand infusing technology at once with a beginning of the ideation phase or the launch phase is not going to enough. You have to continuously incrementally innovate and infuse new ideas, new features, new aspects into the model to retain the competitive advantage. The next one, along with an idea, differentiator, model, technology, tie-ups create hyper scalability. It allows you to scale up when you have multiple things available in the market and you are just jumping to the next level. What creates further is the customer experience, the talent part. It's like high-tech world, but also the success will come from high touch, and the touch has to be powerful in terms of creating the wow, unique value for the customer, a pleasing experience across entire touch point. So this is the recipe for creating a wow customer experience, that every time I talk to someone, every time, whether it is a digital transaction, whether it is a one-to-one transaction or personal communication or anything I do with this business, is a pleasing experience, consistently same experience, and at times it is creating further kind of wow experience or further kind of surprise elements every time I interact with this company, right? The next one is mature idea plus all of the above will be your future business blueprint. So look around all these areas, how you are going to create a success in the market. Finally, it is all about blueprint plus planned and persistent execution. So this is the mantra for the overall startup. Just having the idea and investment is just a beginning, is what I would say. So one other dimension I would like to highlight, and this is applicable for the entire startup ecosystem. It is for investors, it is for people like Growsent and the community, and even for the startup companies. The business life cycles are getting shorter because industry life cycles are getting shorter. Earlier, what was happening in 60 years, today it is happening in a decade's time. We are becoming very faster. So to that extent, the cycle is becoming shorter. That means what is happening is, earlier there were companies which were almost like 100 plus years, the company were there, surviving, scaling, continuously remaining there as a big brand. Today, Yahoo came and disappeared in 30 years, Nokia 20 years, Katera, I gave an example, vanished within less than 6 years. What is happening is the pace is incremental and pace of innovation is very fast. So three things companies need to keep it in mind. Keep an eye on these things. Business life cycles are shortening. Everyday disruptions and innovations are creating threat. So you are launching a product today, you are launching a service today, somebody is going to catch up, a better innovation is going to come in the market. You will have to be constantly on the guard, and customer expectations are obviously changing. We are the one, we are creating new experiences for customers, and obviously we are the ones that are creating further aspirations, right? So what is happening is, our race is against time. The old unit of measure, which was size, how big is your company, how global is your company, all those aspects are going to remain there. But the reality is you are racing against time. How effective you are playing your game against time is what is important. And to that extent, I'm going to leave this with a mantra for a consistent, sustainable success. If you master this wheel, every startup, every existing business will be in a position to continue their profitable, scalable, and sustainable journey. The first beginning is about continuous wow innovation. The wow word talks about a likable and lovable product or a service in the market. Now, just one disruptive innovation is not going to be enough. You need to have incremental innovations continuously. These could be learning from your peers, from competitors, adopting from cross industry, adopting different technologies, and continuing the competitive advantage that you are going to create. With innovation, you need to have a scalable, robust business and operating model. It includes a strong value proposition, but at the same time, positioning your value in the market, not in terms of selling, but creating buying interest, technology for digitization and automation, customer experience, and obviously I mentioned about smart, efficient ecosystem. And the capabilities will have to look it into across these 4 or 5 different dimensions. Gone are the days talking about technology capability, domain capability, managerial capability, leadership capability, so on and so forth. They might be there, but what is getting prominent is, do you have an innovation capability, a definite unit which is innovating, handing it over? Consider this as a 4 or 5 into 100-meter relay. So somebody is innovating, transferring the baton to the next leg. They are creating the transformative, scalable kind of business and operating model. Then they are passing on the baton to the next engine, which is mastering replication. They know how to replicate. They know how to grow the business. The baton has to be subsequently at some point in time transferred to exit out of businesses, out of line of business, which are no more profitable, no more having demand. So with this mantra, I'm concluding the tomorrow's part. Master this wheel and you will be able to succeed to achieve 3x, 10x growth for your companies. Last but not the least, we'll have to think in terms of the day after, because we are living in a world where we are looking at what happened with the pandemic, but there are also environment related challenges. And finally, if the startup world has to mature to a level of what is it that we are doing, not just solving the problem of the customer, but solving the problem of the community, solving the problem of the society, solving the problem of the environment as such. We cannot forget that. And there are many opportunities in this area itself. I'm not going to talk a little bit, but if you look at current mega trends, current hard trends across different industries, you will find that climate change is one of the topmost mega trend. Transparency is one of the topmost mega trend. Urbanization is one of the topmost mega trend. These are mega trends. Go green, green tech. These are all mega trends going to create an impact. Startup will have to think in terms of this, as well as investors will have to think in terms of this. So basically, while the technology is helping us in terms of analytics, augmentics, and kind of automation, what is it that we are talking about? Future of work, future of wealth creation, as well as future of well-being. These are the aspects that more and more startups need to start thinking, and more on more we have to move towards Society 5.0, what we are talking about, how best technology can augment human life, how best technology can help raise the planet to be a better place to live. And to that extent, I would say that these 17 sustainable development goals are really the driving factor, are really the guiding torch bearer for all of the startup ecosystem to look into. Because there are opportunities. These are not just NGO field, these are also economic opportunities. So with that, I'm going to conclude this. Once again, thank you very much for inviting me to be part of this wonderful event. And I congratulate each and every participant in terms of whether you are participant as an investor, as an industry, or the organization. Thank you very much and all the best. Thanks.
Thank you, Sandeep. It was really insightful, and this will definitely help all new startups and investors also to evaluate the startup ecosystem. You have already touched upon all the points, starting from the idea generation to the reinvestment, reinventing the businesses to the and how the businesses can be a fundable business, and it's a sustainability also. So nowadays there are lots of startups are emerging, and most of the startups are based upon improvement of existing processes. So still few people think that the startup idea should be the innovative idea. So what is your take upon that thing? So as I feel the startup idea should not be innovative every time. If you are having something new to improve the existing processes also, and it's have some market demand or sustainability in market, then that startups can also grow in good way.
Yeah, definitely. There is a room for all the players. Okay. So if we look at it, the areas where we can innovate, right? There are different areas of the organization or the demand from customer perspective, we can innovate. So starting from the lowest level of innovation, if I start looking at process innovation is the first, right? Where an organization is looking at minimizing or eliminating redundant processes as well as automating processes, right? So what is going to happen is your cost of servicing is going to come down. Your customer experience is going to increase to that extent if you automate the processes, right? So this is an opportunity for innovation around processes. The next level is look at innovation around technologies. There are a number of technologies, and this is purely about digital transformation. Does it create a competitive advantage? Yes, it does to an extent. But today what is happening is everybody is creating digital transformation. So obviously the returns are going to be diminishing, but definitely to achieve a certain level of maturity, you will have to have technology adoption. And to that extent, communities or to that extent, the companies innovating around technology, maybe creating a convergence of two technologies and introducing that in the market, creating new ways of utilizing different stacks of technologies. So technology is second level. The third level is basically your offerings. Now, offerings need not be every time kind of completely disruptive, but you can also think in terms of what is the incremental play here. And that is where I will talk about what are the white spaces. Many a times what happens is big ideas, big products get prominence, but there are certain elements which are customer pains. Many a times the service pain areas or even the product might have certain pain areas that get neglected. There are tremendous opportunities to leverage from this minor white spaces, where I can do. There is also offering in terms of taking it to the definite next level of the market, tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, where the big players may not be entering. There is an opportunity for smaller players to begin there and up their ante and become a large player, right? So offerings could be the third level. The next level is basically business model. What different business model possibilities exist? So it's not just about brick and mortar to digitized business, but there are many various ways that you can change the business model. And we all know many examples, right? We have examples like companies stopping selling license products and becoming kind of subscription models. And there are enormous business model examples that I am not going to repeat, but that is one of the area that we all know. The next level of the innovation can come from industry or sector or category innovation. And there I give an example of, look at category innovation as from combustion engine to EV vehicle or a hybrid vehicle is a category innovation. It's same product, it's the car itself, right? But we are creating a different category. From there we are creating EV. From there we are creating autonomous vehicle. Now we are creating flying cars, right? So all these things are incremental play, but creating a separate category. And finally, the topmost is creating a completely new customer that doesn't exist. And the example there would be, today, a common man traveling into space doesn't exist, right? The customer doesn't exist. And that is where Tesla or Virgin or even Amazon is entering into that space. In a decade's time, they will make space travel a common place to happen. Flying cars, a common place to happen, right? So that is my answer in terms of look at the startup, not necessarily disruptive ideas. What I call it as waves of innovation. So if possible, kick in with a disruptive idea, but if not possible, do have an adaptive innovation, incremental innovation, and keep on innovating continuously.
And timing is also one of the great factor for this.
Absolutely, absolutely. You nailed on it. Timing of introducing the innovation. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, one more thing about this startup ecosystem is investment, and basically equity-based investment is increasing. So last year it was near about, if we talk about Indian context, it was near about $1 billion. But in this year, in first 6 months itself, it crossed the $12 million. So there is a large shift in this investment. So what is your thing? I mean, why the investors are attracted toward the Asian markets? So what you feel the key factor? Uh, that's why the international investors are also getting attracted to the Indian companies or Asian companies mostly.
See, I think one of the things which I mentioned earlier, that the invention, innovation, and startup story is no more just about siloed in one area. It is now getting wide, right? And if you look at investor class comes from different segments and different sectors. They have their own choices and preferences. Somebody want to invest in fintech, somebody want to invest in soil related agriculture and agri-based, right? Earlier, these stories were not there in India. We were just running behind, and that was the beginning of the startup world. But we were behind retail and kind of e-commerce play. But today, the play is widening. That's point number one. Point number two, if you look at it, the government and infrastructure is becoming supportive to an extent. So initiatives like Skill India, initiatives like Startup India, the business index improving, right? All these things are kind of creating a conducive environment. And the third and the last factor is the startup companies are really thriving. It is no more that the money is getting sucked and something is happening and the failure rate is going to be there, but success rate is increasing. The number of unicorns, and mind well, at the beginning of pandemic, we had 47. Today we have 62. During last 2 years, 15 unicorns. It's not just about valuation. It is the trust of investors, right? So all the three factors, including obviously the talent, which is like booming and coming in large ways with innovative ideas, with innovative solutions. So this is a collective, and that is why I say it is becoming a promised land. If you look at it, we all know US has been a land of promise for education, for kind of new startup world, kind of .com and all these initiatives. Equally now, India and the subcontinent is becoming a promised land for the future. And that is where the investors are getting attracted. Nobody want to miss the bus as well. This is a booming economy as far as startup ecosystem is concerned.
Correct. Yeah, so there is definitely a support from ecosystem, government, and there are different players like or industrialists, and the HNI is also investing in these startups, and they are showing some confidence in these businesses. So yeah, these
which I mentioned, even HNIs and even big companies are acquiring, right? So to that extent, there is a growth of and maturity in terms of different players coming in, and including people like you. Look at CityLink and Growsent talking about creating such an event and organizing. This itself is the proof that the cycle has kicked in and it is on the acceleration path.
So basically, what we did, Growsent, while preparing this plan or designing this product, Growsent, the main issue we found that the trust issue. So when a foreign investor or the investor outside, they are investing in businesses abroad, so they are having a trust issue. Even though feel the business is good, but they didn't have any connection or support system where they can trust. So the Growsent is bridging a gap between these two people. So we are evaluating all these startups. We are checking their legalities, and if we found everything is good, and then only we are making them live. So it is easy for the businesses also to reach out to this investor, and for the investor also who can they can trust on these businesses and they start investing. So yes, of course, all this system, ecosystem, government are helping the businesses, and this is the reason to booming the startup ecosystem. So yeah, thank you, Sandeep. So Hetal, do we have any questions from the participants? So
Sure. I would like to attend questions. If there are
Yeah.
any questions, please raise your hands. Thank you.
Sandeep, meanwhile, I mean, if there are any question is, I read some your article regarding digital transformation is dead. So I think it was little bit because everyone is going to digital and your topic was little bit different. So can you put some focus on that point? What was your
Sure. Let us look at why anybody invest in some initiative. The reason for any investment is about going to the next level, right? And apart from that, it has to create some competitive advantage, some play there. Only then you will be able to reap the benefits of investment, right? Now, if you look at it, the journey of anything coming into the market, right? Initially, there is a lot of interest, kind of what we call it a hype curve, right? There is a hype. Then certain things goes beyond a hype and starts becoming regular practice. Many players start coming in. Then it becomes a crowded market. Once it becomes a crowded market, then the next level is it becomes a standard, de facto standard, and kind of the next level is becoming hygiene. And the last level is it's nobody cares about it. It becomes routine or part of the assumption, right? Nobody talks about a AC car anymore. It becomes default, right?
Yes.
That's the hygiene part. So if you look at it, technology and especially digital technology, we have moved much beyond the hype and early attraction phase into becoming a crowded market. Everybody is adopting every technology. Now, with that being the space, everybody has app, everybody has cloud, everybody has data science, everybody is trying AI and ML. The competitive advantage is going to be limited in terms of time, in terms of uptick. And to that extent, I said that organizations need next level of play, and digital transformation is dead. Guys, unless we call it dead, you don't move. The king is dead. Welcome to the new king, right? So unless you call it dead, your attention and focus will not move to the next level of innovation, the next level of disruption, the next level of how you are going to solve unique problems. Technology is going to remain the de facto standard, the scalable matter, but go beyond technology and identify real stories, real ways, business models, ideas, categories. That is what I mean by digital transformation being dead. Go beyond that.
Great.
Thank you, Mr. Sandeep Bhargava. It seems you answered all the important questions yourself, sir.
Thank you.
It was inspiring and a very insightful presentation.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, Hetal, it's done, Hetal?
Yeah, it seems there are no questions of now.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
We have next session. So the next session will start at 10:30. It is about venture capital funding process. And I would like to make sure that everyone is able to join there. If you're not able to join, kindly let us know.
Shahu?
Yes, sir.
So I'll be taking your leave now. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thanks.
Yeah, I will
Thanks.
get back to you.
Sure. Thank
And
you. Thanks a
you.
lot.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you
the
very
best.
much.
Hetal, can you see my screen?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so all participant who is joining the next session, please go to your login with your login ID and just click on the next session so you can connect to the next session, venture capital process.
So thank you, everyone. I'll be ending this session and I will look forward to join you in the next session. Thank you very much.